my current weight now is 29 stone.
And how much is that?
Kg,
How much is that in kg?
kg, that's 190.
190 kilograms.
Yeah.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum YouTube, it's your boy Uzzi Boy back with another video here today, Sham. This is episode 1, guys, of the Uzzi Cast. Today I got a very special guest. He's been through hard times, he's been through health issues, he's been through shitty jobs, and today he wants to come on and tell his story. Ladies and gentlemen, Callum Mullane. Alright, sir, give us your amazing introduction. Who are you?
What's going on, guys? My name is Callum. I'm just here with Uzzi Boy. Been watching him for a while. This man here has been. We worked together in a previous job, and we gained friendship through mutual friends, and just ended up telling each other our life stories. And he seemed to have thought mine was a bit interesting to be the first guest on here with him today.
Okay, amazing. There we have it, folks. Friends from a previous job to being on a podcast with your boy himself. Do you want to shout out any of your own socials?
Yeah, 100%. I've just recently getting back into my YouTube.
Okay, what's your YouTube?
I'll pull it up for you now. So my YouTube is the Irish Gaming Legend.
The Irish Gaming Legend, guys, hear that? Give him a cheeky follow.
Yeah, I'll give him the links and stuff so he can give you guys the links. Okay. Anything like that, I'm posting gaming videos, stuff like that on it, and I hope to be kind of posting a lot more, like maybe reviews on my like the movies and stuff watching.
Okay. Like, do you have a TikTok? Do you have Instagram? Do you want to shout out?
I do. I have a TikTok. It's the same. It's the Irish Gaming Legend. And for all of my socials, for like Instagram, it would be the _Irish _gaming _legend.
A lot of underscores. Okay.
A lot of underscores in that one. And for my TikTok, it's just the Irish Gaming Legend all in one. So
Okay.
it is.
Okay.
If you want, give us a follow. Going to be posting a lot on that soon.
Okay, cool. Amazing, man. Sick. Okay, so we have a lot to get through in this podcast. You know, you had some amazing stories you told me off camera. We've been friends for like, what, how many years? 3, 4?
It's 3-4 years now.
Yep.
When I would have started in that call center.
Yep. It all started out in the call center, how we met, how we kind of, grew the bond. So, okay, look, tell me a little bit about your childhood. Who was Callum Mullane?
Callum Mullane was a child that didn't have many friends.
Okay.
He was quiet. He was very closed doors. I was open doors with family, of course, like my
Open
brothers
doors
and
with
sisters. I had a lot of brothers and sisters growing up, so I kind of latched on to the one which was my sister Amy.
Okay.
She took me through life and showed me what was going on, and
Okay.
she was my inspiration. Her and my brother Aaron.
Okay, amazing. Shout out Amy, guys. Massive shout out to Amy. Helped Caleb, throughout his journey in life. Obviously, look, when you're starting off in school, people find school a little bit, different. Some people find it challenging, some people find it amazing, and some people just stay kind of reserved. Throughout primary school, secondary school, basically childhood up until kind of your late teen years, tell me a little bit about, life. Like, what was life like?
Well, like I was very closed doors. Like I said, I wasn't really the talkative person like I am nowadays. I very closed doors. I didn't talk to many people at all, and I kind of like just kept to myself in primary school. And a lot of people seen that as a way to bully me.
Okay, when you say bullying, right? What do you mean in terms of bullying? Like would they verbally, physically? How would it get?
Verbally, and then if I tried to get involved in, let's say, football or anything like that, I would kind of be picked on, and because like I'm a very heavy guy,
okay,
I couldn't run as fast as other people, or I couldn't keep up with other people when they were playing football.
Okay.
So, for an incident that happened when I was a kid, was I was playing football once with a couple of the boys, and I thought they were being friends with me and stuff like that, and then But little I knew, I got football kicked straight into my face, and then I got another fella came up and missed the football, but kicked me straight into the face.
Do you think that was intentional, or was it just a bit of oh shit,
Yeah,
sorry?
of course it was. Like I remember him laughing about it afterwards and stuff like that.
I'm sorry, man.
Like it was rough, like being in school and stuff like that. But look, I got past it and I moved on from there. When I got to secondary school, I met more people like me, nerds, other people like that liked anime stuff like that,
Yeah,
and I got more inclined with them. There was this one kid that I met. His name was Jason.
Jason.
Um, Not the Jason you're thinking of.
Yeah. I know a lot of Jasons. Me and this guy mutually know a good few Jasons, but no, that's not the one I'm thinking of. But okay, what
This
was?
this guy Jason. We were best friends through the whole of my secondary school.
Yeah.
And we did everything together. We sat in class together, and uh, I got very badly bullied in secondary school to the point where I had to leave my I had to leave secondary school. Like I had to
Okay.
drop out and move
What
out to another school.
what area of Ireland did you grow up in? Did you? Because obviously we've only been friends for a couple of years. I never even really asked what area of Ireland did you grow up in.
It was a small. It wasn't even a village. It was a place called Maharo.
Mahara.
Um,
Whereabouts is that for the viewers here that might be kind of either A, international, or B, just not know very much about Ireland?
It's out at the west coast of Ireland. It's like down where like Grange. It's about 20 minutes from Sligo, where I live now.
Okay, 20 minutes from start. Okay, so into your secondary school journey, you're finished up with primary, you get through all of that. Maybe not the best of experiences for a young man in primary school. Oh, a young boy, I should say, because no one's really a man in primary. Walk us through secondary school. Your first day. Everyone's kind of fresh into secondary school. How was your first year? Let me know.
Oh, my first year was quite good
Okay.
because my brothers and sisters were still in school. They were in
Yeah.
fifth year and sixth year.
Okay.
So I was still like I had people that I could look into,
Yeah.
and then like I said, I met that kid called Jason, who me and him was we were quite good friends, so we were for a long time.
Okay.
Um, and then it's like first year was fine, and then second year it kind of really kicked off with like the bullying wise.
Okay, now talk to me a little bit more about the bullying. Obviously, look, what's your current age, if you don't mind telling the viewers here?
I'm 24.
Okay, you're 24. So, like, I believe when you're entering secondary school, right? Like, you're in what you call first year. The English people would know it as year 7, but we basically call it first year, second year, third year, right? When you kind of enter into it, you're about what, 13 years old, 14?
Yeah, but I was 12 or 13 years old.
12
Yeah.
or 13. Okay, so describe to me kind of like in terms of like you being a teenager, what was the effects of bullying? How did it have an effect on you mentally?
Well, like I was suffering mentally with it. There was a lot going on.
Yeah.
Everywhere around. Like, it wasn't just school; it was everywhere. So it made it like 10 times harder. Because when I was going into secondary school, I was helping my dad. See, my dad was a delivery driver for one of the takeaways in town.
Okay.
So what I was doing was after I'd finished school at about 3 or 3:30,
Yeah.
I would leave school, I would get picked up by my dad and go straight into work with him, doing these delivery driving job with him
What,
5 days a week.
what like what takeaway did you used to deliver for? Was it like every takeaway? Was like Just Eat, Uber Eats?
Oh, it's just the one. He still delivers for us, Roberto's in
Okay.
Sligo.
Shout out Roberto's, boys. One of the best pizzas
Shout
in
out
the game.
Roberto's, boys. I'm
Okay,
gonna
so
have to get a free pizza for that one.
yeah, boy, they better hook man up. Anyway, but look. Obviously, you said the bullying had like an effect on you mentally, or you're going through, you're going through mental stuff. Anyway, as a teenager would do because they're fresh into school, right? And then
Yeah.
I guess it's not the best working after school as well because you just kind of want to go home and rest. When it came to the bullying, right? Describe to me a couple of instances that you just really affected you, if there was any in particular.
There was I don't know if you want to stick to just first year or if you don't mind me moving on past
Yeah,
that
yeah. Wait,
because
look.
like
Secondary school is like from first to what, sixth, and you can. Did you do TY or not? I'm not sure. Did you?
no.
Okay,
See,
you didn't do
I didn't
TY.
do TY and I dropped out in sixth year.
Okay, we'll get to the dropout thing, but just before, just when we kind of go into that, we'll just talk a little bit about your kind of instances with the bullying. Like was it any kind of time that stood out for you in particular, or was it all just kind of balanced out? Like,
No, there was a couple of times that kind of stuck out, so there was.
shoot, man, let us know.
So there was a point where I there was these ones they kept throwing shit at me on the bus. Sorry if you don't mind me
No,
cursing
no,
out
no,
on
curse away,
recording
brother.
this.
Free platform. Just no N words, no P words. We're good, man. Everything else is
Yeah,
an
yeah,
open
no, of
platform, man.
course. Um, I was going through some shit in the middle of this. I was in the classroom, and
Yeah,
these like four guys that were like they were the ones who were bullying me
right.
in the school, and I went over to my locker and I was getting books out of my locker or something like that, and they came over to me and I closed my locker. I turned around, and like four of them was in my face. One of them had me pinned up against the locker by my throat, and the
Fuck.
others were like coming to me and they were like, we'll effing kill you. We'll fucking kill you. You
Why?
know,
Why?
and
What triggered them? Did you know these people? Or just a random thing? Like what?
they were like they were in my year and like they were in the same year as me.
Okay, okay.
So basically, I told one of them to just go fuck off because they kept throwing shit at me in class,
Right.
and they didn't take that nicely, and they came up to me and thought that I deserved to be put up against a fucking locker and threatened and shit. And basically, the only way I could get out of it is I told one of them that I was gonna catch him and kick the shit out of him in the bathrooms,
Oh, so you
which
stood up for
was like,
yourself, yeah?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I was sick of bullying at that point.
Okay.
I was just,
Was this kind
I'd
of
gone
like?
through it.
Was this kind of like every day? This was sort of happening. Was this like a one time in particular where they grabbed you by the up against the locker, or was that has that ever happened before that point? Does that make sense?
No, that had never happened before. Like I'd been in the bathrooms before, and they'd like throw water over the stalls, or they'd like kick in the door at you,
And like basically,
But
anytime you were going for a number one or a number two, you basically couldn't do that in peace. Yeah.
exactly, I
Okay.
used to hold it.
I'm sorry, man. No, that shit sucks. Like,
No, no, bro, don't worry. Like, this is you got to remember. I've moved past all of this stuff. This
yeah, but
stuff
like,
is
there's a funny saying in life, right? It goes, forgive and forget. But I'm a big believer of, like, I'll forget, but, I mean, sorry, I'll forgive, but I'll never truly forget, man. How can you erase what's in the mind? No one can ever unsee what they fucking seen. Does that make sense?
yeah, yeah, of course, 100%. I get where you're coming from.
Now, when it comes to these bullies, do you forgive them, or would you be like, nah, if I see you again, it's on site, or how would you how would you?
No, I think if I seen them and they did it again, I'd be like, okay, you haven't changed.
Okay, well,
If I
obviously, but
seen
I
them,
just mean in terms of like, I hope to God they would do this shit again. Like, there's no lockers anyway. But I just meant in
no,
terms.
no, no. Like I mean, like not in the locker way or anything like that. I mean, if they were to come up to me and like say, "Oh, faggot" or some shit like that, like a slur at
Okay,
me.
okay. Um, yeah. Look, I get it. You seem like you've moved on. You've kind of accepted it for what it is. Was there anybody else in your school who would kind of like stand up for you, stick by you, that kind of way?
My brothers and sisters, yes.
Okay. Okay, but
They
once your
would,
brothers and
yeah,
sisters left that school, because you said, right, when you were in first year, they were about in fifth and in sixth, right?
yeah. But the funny thing is, like my sister Chloe,
Hmm.
who's younger than me, she had more balls than I did, and
Shout out Chloe, guys.
she came into the school and basically nobody would say nothing to me because he was just fucking. She was tougher than me, you know.
She was tougher than you.
Yeah, she
Okay,
was way tougher than me.
okay, okay.
In the case of when she came in, her one of her classmates who was bullying me in the like primary school
Yeah.
tried to start on me, and she pinned him to a locker and was like, "If you ever fucking touch my brother again, I'll kill you."
Okay.
And
And
he was
do you think
he
in a
never.
way? Go. Sorry. Go on. Continue.
No, no, no. I was just finishing off. He never came at me again.
Oh, okay, okay. No, I was going to say, do you think in a way, because I've kind of noticed this a little bit. Obviously, we were kind of we went to different schools, but I kind of noticed as I was, getting a little bit older and kind of like times kind of changing from generation to generation from other people's, let's say from like my dad's, granddads or whatever, that girls are kind of becoming a bit more like fearless in school. Like they're not afraid to, like stand up for let's say like their mate who's a male or something like that, because they're just not really like scared. Is it like obviously like girls kind of like a few generations ago might be a bit scared to like speak up for bullying or speak up for, let's say, one of their mates getting kind of like picked on a little bit. But I think it's kind of changing these days. Like the girls will step in for you even if they're not afraid to get hurt or get like kind of ridiculed.
Yeah, I agree with you. Nowadays, that's true. But back then, I think it would have been the exact same. But it was different for Chloe and Amy, my sisters.
Okay.
They grew up in a household of four brothers. You
Okay.
know.
I guess it's upbringing. Yeah, it is. It's upbringing in a way as well. It's like it's like how are you brought up? How are you raised? That kind of way there. But yeah, man, that is wild. Okay, now you were telling me your story about how towards the end of sixth year you ended up leaving school. Is that correct?
It was more like at the start of fifth year,
At the
or
start
sorry,
of
the end
fifth
of
year.
fifth year.
Okay.
At
Okay.
the end
So
of like fifth year, I ended up leaving school
yeah.
for about 6 months, and then I enrolled back into Ballinode in
Ballinode is
town.
it? Is
When
where's that located? Is that in Sligo?
in
Okay.
Sligo, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Cool. So
I enrolled into Ballinode for like, I think it was only like 3 months
okay.
before like a lot of the ones in Ballinode kind of figured out my past, and
Use that
you
against
know,
you.
yeah,
Okay.
that I was bullied in my past, and they used that against me. So I kind of dropped out after that, and I went to a fall center, like a training center for
Okay.
like basically nurtured one skill. And what ended up doing was I ended up going into catering.
No, no. For
Um,
those people, obviously, I like to believe most people know what catering is. But for the odd bunch that don't, what do you learn in catering? Is it just cooking? Do you learn how to clean? Like, is it
you,
is
you
it maintenance? What is it?
yeah, so you learn how to cook, clean. It's like the nutritional values of food,
Yeah.
everything like that. Your like all your basically what foods are good for you, what foods are bad for you,
Okay.
and learning a balanced diet. And we had two different exams during that. So we would have your continental breakfast, and then you would have prior breakfast. That was one exam, and then the second exam we had to create two vegetarian dishes, or
Ugh.
yeah,
Sorry. Sorry.
vegetarian dishes.
That's not me being disrespectful. Fuck. Vegetarian man.
Ah, come
No,
on.
no, no. I'm sorry, man. The
Listen,
thought of that's making me throw up, man. What were well, tell me what the vegetarian dishes were. Explain, brother.
so the vegetarian dishes I had to make was a zucchini. Um, there was a zucchini. I think it was pasta bake.
Ugh.
So like
Tofu
a
and
cheesy
grass.
pasta bake,
Yeah. Go on.
and the other one was a tofu stir fry.
Ugh,
The
tofu and
tofu
grass,
stir
boys.
fry.
Tofu and grass. Ugh.
Tofu stir fry. Do you know what I can say wholeheartedly? Like I fucking hated stir fry.
Yeah.
Was without like chicken or something in it, and then I
Yeah.
tried this, and it was actually pretty good.
Right. Okay. So look, obviously you took to being a chef. Like you enjoyed it from what I'm kind of gathering here, right?
Yeah.
What made you say yes to catering? Like obviously, I guess in terms of like leaving school early, the route most people would go would be like apprenticeships, which is kind of along the lines of what you did here, right? Or it's just straight into work. Why chefing? Why that?
Well, I ended up making friends along the way of when I left school, which but they had introduced me to like the world of cooking and stuff like that, and I ended up in enjoying it. you know. And I when a lot of the stuff was happening, like bullying and stuff like that, my comfort was comfort eating.
Okay,
And
okay. Your comfort. That's a beautiful saying. My comfort was comfort eating. That's. Where did you come up with
it's
that
not
shit?
as
Didn't
beautiful.
know you were a poet as well, man. All right.
It's not as it's not as comfortable as you think.
No, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. Like obviously,
But
comfort eating isn't a good thing, especially if overdone. We're all guilty of it, but yeah.
yeah, I got into a bad habit of it, and I said I wasn't going to do that no more. So I got into making proper meals, like your chicken curries, your stir fries, stuff like that,
Okay.
stuff that would be nutritionally valuable to me.
Okay.
And I turned a different path. I started doing all of that, and I ended up losing a lot of weight out of it. And then I went down a rocky path after that due to a lot of family issues, stuff like that,
Okay. Okay.
and I went off track.
Okay, we'll get into all that. I just wanted to kind of ask, how long did you be a chef for? Did you work for any famous restaurants? Did anyone kind of like popular take to the
Um,
name of Callum Mullane or no?
I did. I worked in the catering place. I did, and then I actually worked up in the Radisson Blue Hotel
Okay,
for a
The
little while.
Radisson Blue Hotel. That's in County Sligo, yeah.
Yeah. In County Sligo, I worked up in there for. It was only about 6 months, just because my weight wasn't helping, and the long hours wasn't great on my feet. But I did about 6 months in there, being a chef, and it was crazy. It was crazy work. So it was. You don't stop at all.
What
I
age were you
started
them
off.
times? What was your like? What was your age? Were you 20, 19, kind of there?
I was only about 18.
Oh wow, so you were still a youngin.
Yeah, I was only about 17, 18.
Okay. Was there any kind of like moments in your life where you thought, shit, man, I wish I just finished school. It was like, 2 more years, 1 more year, whatever, kind of at the time. I wish I just kind of went through.
100%.
Yeah?
I still wish that I could go back into school because, I didn't do bad in junior cert.
Yeah?
Uh, I got A, B, and C. There was
Oh,
no
wow. So
E's.
you
E's
were
or
a smart boy. Like, you weren't one of those ones that
yeah.
were just kind of like bunking and, like doing what you kind of wanted to do. You actually took school serious in a way, I guess.
Yeah. I took it serious, even though, I was working a job with my dad and doing school at the same time. It was quite hard to get homework in, all of that stuff. It was really quite hard. And then I still turned out quite good. I got an A in my woodwork project. So we had a project to do where we had to build a table
Okay.
for a project
Yeah.
with a secondary function,
Yeah.
which I built a little table
Yeah.
with a bottom shelf
Yeah.
that had three long bars across it
Yep.
to hold magazines,
Yep.
shoes, whatever you wanted on the load.
Uh huh. Okay, sick. So,
And
you were like you were good when it came to like crafting stuff, right?
yes, and that's what kind of leaded me into doing catering as well,
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
because I knew I was good with my hands.
How did your parents take to the idea of you leaving school and doing catering? Were they happy? Like not happy? What was their kind of whole take? Because obviously, look, when you left school, I'm not sure how the system works in terms of like dropping out. I've never actually done it, but I do believe you have to be at least 16 to leave. Is that right?
Yes, correct. You
Okay.
have to be at least 16 to do it
Yeah.
on your own. With parental consent, you have to be at least, you have to be like 14 or something like that.
14. You can leave school at 14. What?
Yeah, you can leave school at 14, or I think it is, if your parents don't want you in that school and they have enrolled you in any other school.
Okay, so did you just like do this on your own? Was it like I'm doing it like fuck you, mom and dad, I don't care, or was it listen, mom, I want to sit down with you. I don't think school's for. How did it go? How was the whole like the convo with that?
Yeah, so at the time it was my parents were split at
Okay,
that point.
sorry about that.
So no, that's all good. My parents were split at the time, so I was with my mum most of the time. So I kind of had the conversation with my mum. I was like, "Listen, mum, school's not working out for me." I was like, I'm gonna take a month or two off, and I'm gonna go and see what my options are. in that time, I was going to like social groups and stuff like that,
What's a
like
social
the
group?
crib.
Just for everyone to kind of like get a bit of an idea.
Social groups are like the groups where you go meet new people,
Yeah.
make friends, stuff like that. Just because in my past I've had problems making friends.
Cool, cool. We all have. Look, not everyone is for
Exactly.
not everyone is for everyone. You know. How so? From a scale from like 1 to 10, would you think that your mom and dad took this well, or like kind of how would you?
I think my parents took it well
Okay.
because they seen how what I was going to be doing, and like because I was in when I was a child, when I was like 6 or 7, I was in a car accident.
Hmm.
Um, it caused me to like have always bad pain in my back.
Yeah.
Um, and I got a lump sum of money when I turned 18.
Oh
I
wow.
got seven. I got 7 grand.
7 grand.
Um,
Wow.
yeah,
That
and
is like
that
3 months
kicked.
of wage in this country.
Yeah, yeah, but that was back in like 2019 when people were only getting 1,500
Yeah, yeah. That's arguably what, like
per
4 months
month.
then. Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Fair play, fair
it
play.
was great money, so it was. I took the initiative because I had told my mom, I was like, listen, I'm getting 7 grand when I turn 18.
Yeah,
What I'm going to do is I'm going to go out there and I'm just going to break into the world. I'm just going to break in as much as possible.
yeah. And she was cool with all that. Yeah.
100%. She was like, listen, I'll support you until you're 18. As soon as you're 18, get out there.
Okay, okay, okay. You know what? W mum, guys, W mum. Because a lot of us, unfortunately, don't come from families where leaving school is. Like, if I left school, like, I don't know what my dad would have done. I don't know what anyone would have done. Like, I don't want to think about it because I just don't. I'm glad I finished it, and whatnot. But yeah, man, you were very like you were very privileged. I would say in terms of like how your mum took to it. You know.
Yeah, she wasn't on board at the start, but
She got there with some
we got
time.
her. We got there at a certain point.
Okay, okay. When your catering ended, you did that for how many years?
I did the catering course for it was almost 2.5 years.
And then you worked
So
for. Yeah, go on.
I was still doing it. I did it up until I was, I think, just before 18.
Yep.
Um, and then I was working in Radisson Blue for like the 6 months while I was still doing the catering course.
Okay.
So in the evenings, I would do the catering course.
Yep.
Or sorry, in the mornings, I'd do the catering course, and in the
Yep.
evenings, I'd work on the Radisson Blue.
Okay. Now tell me. Yeah. What came after the Radisson Blue? Was it more catering? Was it a bit of a break from the industry? What was next for
Um,
the life of Caleb?
it was kind of like more catering. So I went to McDonald's. I actually started working at McDonald's, and I grew a very good reputation in there. I was more of I was very liked on the windows.
Yeah.
Um, so window one and window two in
Okay.
there because they had two-way window
Yep.
system for like talking to customers.
Yep.
I became very good at like cash handling and
Yep.
stuff like that, and I was very trusted in there.
Okay. So you
But
were very trusted at Mackey's. I've got a story which I can obviously tell to the audience at some point, but to give you a brief synopsis of it, a little brief summary. I was rejected from McDonald's 4 times with a full-on uni degree. Imagine that.
um,
4 times, boys. No word of a lie. Anyway, though,
he just
huh?
he just doesn't have the social skills.
I don't know what it was. I think I'm a bit too social, if you ask me personally. But hey, so you were clearly loved there. You were very familiar with all the staff. I'm assuming at that point because you did that for quite some time. Like how would you greet people at the window? Let's say I'm pulling up. You're taking my order. Let us know how you would kind of do your whole speech to people.
So yeah, I had used to change my whole voice and everything for it.
Oh shit!
So
Go
I would
on. How did you
change
change it?
I would change it. I'd be like, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get started for you here today?
Oh, you
And
just
then
speed
I'd
talk. That's
do
just
it.
not changing. That's not too bad.
No, no, no. It'd be like you're more polite.
Okay.
Your voice is more uptone. It's very differently. Like I'm speaking uptone now as we're speaking right now, but if I wasn't like, let's say on a podcast or something like that, I'd be like,
Fuck you, fuck
"Oh,
this,
what's it called?
like
How are you,
that.
man?
Yeah,
How you
okay, okay,
doing?"
no, no. So you kind of
Yeah,
have you,
I've been more chilled out, but
yeah.
in like McDonald's, I was like, "Oh, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get started for you here today?" Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, it's kind of like that.
okay, okay, okay. So you were kind of very, would you say putting on a character? Would you go as far as saying that, or
Yeah,
like?
yeah. I'd say putting on a character is a good way of saying it.
Okay, okay, cool. So you're out the catering business. You're done with Radisson Blue. You're in McDonald's for the how many years does McDonald's last? How many months? How many? What was the time
I
period?
was there a year and a half, so I was. I
Oh
think
yeah.
about a year and a half.
And you're what, about 20? You're
Um,
about 21 at that point. Something like that.
I would say about, yeah, I'd say about 21. During that time, I was moving houses a lot,
Okay.
so during that time, I actually got robbed.
Whoa! Tell us about
Um,
that. I didn't even know about this. How did the robbery go? How did the big man get robbed? Tell me.
I was involved in a robbery. Like I had just moved into a new house,
Yeah.
down Brookfield, down at 27 Brookfield. If
Okay.
any of you guys want to look at that, it was on the newspapers. It was on everything.
Brookfield robbery, guys. Google
Um,
it. Anyway, go on.
it was crazy. I got robbed. I'm not gonna say the fella's name.
Don't.
Just
We would not want any trouble. Hey, Robert, if you're watching this, man, please don't rob me, man. Anyway, go on.
but the guy came into my house. He he knocked me out. I
What?
got up to the door to see who it was. He like kicked in the door and he's like, "Where the fuck is your stuff? Where's your
He
controllers?
full on
Where's..."
like wham, like knocked you out.
Yeah. Yeah. And I walked into the certain room. I was like, "Why are you fucking doing this?" And he's like, "You accused me of robbing your keys." I was like, "What the fuck does my keys have to it?" I was like, "How can I accuse you?" And like this guy
Did you
had
know
kicked
who he
in
was prior to
my,
this, or was it just like a random thing?
and I knew who he was from seeing him around the neighborhood.
But like you didn't know him like on like a personal level. Like you didn't know like did you or?
No, no, I'd met him 2 days and that was it. And he came into my house and was just like, he's like, "I'm robbing your stuff." He took my
Well, he just
TV, he
announced the
took the
robbery. Like he's like, I'm
PlayStation.
robbing you. Sorry,
Yeah, yeah, he took
I'm
my.
not taking the piss. I'm just imagining how it went down. It's like obviously I get it's fucking tragic. No, it is on a serious. I'm one of them type of people that I try and find the funny side in every kind of situation. But yeah, no, I'm really sorry. He took your TV. You said yeah.
TV, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch. He robbed a really nice pair of Nike shoes and a North Face jacket, a €500 North Face jacket. And keep in mind, I bought all of this stuff with the 7 grand that I got from
Fuck,
when I
dude.
turned 18. So all of that 7 grand went to waste.
Oh my god. All for what? All for
um,
some random prick to just come in and rob it.
yeah, yeah, it was crazy.
I'm so sorry,
Um,
brother. I know. I'm actually shit. I'm sorry. I'm really, really am, man.
yeah, it was a long trial as well. He got caught in like a
Did
couple of
he get
hours
jail time?
later.
Please tell me he got jail time.
He got 7 years.
7 years and what? Like I'm assuming it was the Joy. Was it Castlereagh? What prison? Did I say that?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. Like,
I
I'm assuming you had to turn up to court. Of course you did. You must have like.
I turned up once, one time. That's all I needed to turn up. It was up in
I
Carrick
suppose
Shannon. I had
7 years. Do you think it's lengthy enough? I don't know. Do you think it should have been more?
well, keeping in mind he robbed somebody the night before as well,
Okay, yeah,
and
boys. I'm gonna be
the
real. I don't.
cases were linked.
Yeah, I'm not sure 70.
So
He only served like 4 of those years because in Ireland you see how the judicial system how it goes is you only serve like 60% of your sentence. I think.
no, he served all of his, and he's set to come out in I think about 6 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit! You better keep your doors locked. Fuck! I'm sorry. I'm actually just like watching this from prison. Hey, bro. Oh God,
Listen,
sorry. Any
this
what
time
message do you give
if
to him? No, I said, what message would you give to him if he's watching this right now? What would you tell him?
don't come to my house this time. I have a fucking samurai sword.
Yeah, man. Samurai sword is right. No, low key though. I hope you got all that stuff back in the end. Did you? Or
No, I got none of it. Nothing.
what? So he kept all of it. He still
Yeah.
has that all in his possession.
He said he sold it for drugs.
Oh, oh,
And
what
yeah,
a loser! Imagine selling all those valuables just to then potentially lose it to drugs, man. Oh God, like, at least if you rob someone, keep the shit, man. God damn it, man. Like, what?
he he said he was
Duh.
an addict or whatever.
You know,
But
I get it. I get it. If he was an addict, okay, I understand him selling it for. I'm not trying to take the piss out of addiction. I'm just saying if he was a professional robber, like because you said that he robbed someone the night before, right? You'd kind
yeah,
of just think you want to keep the shit that he stole. Like it's just like, yeah,
100%. He
yeah,
was just.
yeah.
I don't understand.
Shit, man. Okay, after you kind of finish up at McDonald's, move your houses, go through a robbery. I'm assuming this was in what, like probably COVID times, was it? Like kind of in around there.
So I moved into the apartment that I'm in now
Yeah.
in 2020.
2020,
So
so that's about like yeah, that's COVID. That's fucking COVID, man. That was
yeah, yeah, it was literally just right before COVID. So it was.
okay. You were about
Um,
what, like 22,
I
22,
think
23,
so. 21 maybe.
21. Okay, okay, cool, cool, cool.
Yeah, yeah, but when you're about 21,
Okay,
um, or 20 even. I'm not sure.
okay.
I'm born 2001, so
2000,
um,
2001. I'm 2003. Okay, okay, cool, cool. Okay, so after you finish with Mackey's, what's the next job venture? Is there any other kind of jobs?
I didn't get anywhere for maybe 6 to 7 months.
6, 7.
Uh,
Sorry, just had to make the joke. Anyway, continue, continue.
that's it, I'm leaving.
All right, so yeah, okay, six,
um,
7 months, no work, and then what?
I get a call. I applied for a job at a company called 18 Management.
Okay.
Um, Now, keep in mind, I applied to this job 4 different times and got 3 different interviews,
For
and
those
I
of you who
got
don't know what
promoted
18
three
management
times.
is, 18 management is the place that me and this guy actually met. That's the name of our call center, right? That we both kind of befriended each other in. So you applied 4 times to this job.
4 times, yeah, and I got 3 different interviews with uh, two different people, 3 different people in there,
Yeah.
and for my actual one I got hired for,
Huh.
I was 30 minutes late to the interview.
Shit.
So punctuality was out the window to
Okay.
start with.
Yeah.
Timekeeping was gone.
Okay.
So basically, I turned up to the interview 30 minutes late. I got asked all the questions, and then um, I got a call that evening saying I got the job. Now, I went and asked the guy, I think about 3 months before I finished up
Yeah.
in AT. I was like, why did you hire me? I asked him, I was like, why did you hire me? I was like, I was 30 minutes late for the interview. I
What?
was, I was
You're supposed to ask the interviewer why they hired you. It's like you're there, buddy. You're in. Like, just enjoy it,
okay, but
chum.
at this point, like, we knew the company was going into redundancy. This is like 2 minutes before the company went into redundancy.
Oh, okay. This is like later on into your career.
This is
Yeah.
this is 3 years down the line. The
Okay,
same guy
okay.
that hired
What,
me,
what, what
I
was the
asked
response
him.
anyway? What did they say? Like,
He called me a wild card.
a wild card? What, like a joker?
Basically, he called me. He's like, he every 6 months or something, he got to pick one wild card that he thought may be good.
And you were him.
I was the wild card that he
That should be
picked.
like your fight nickname. If you ever walk out to a fight, you should be like, Caleb, the wild card, Mullane. Like, it should
Exactly.
be.
So when he told me this,
Yeah.
um,
It must have
well,
boosted your
like,
confidence. It must have.
he had kind of said it, like he had said it like 6 months into my employment
Uh,
that I was the wild card.
yeah.
But he actually confirmed this like at that end, at the very end.
Yeah.
And when he said I was the wild card about 6 months in, I was set to prove myself that I was gonna be that wild card.
So you like a chip
So
on
I
your
worked
fucking
my way.
shoulder.
Yeah, it was like I was like, I'm gonna work my ass off in here
But you didn't know you were the
because I
wild
want.
card at the time. You must just been happy you had the job. Like, look, he only told you that kind of like 3 years in. Like, were you like,
Well, like he had kind of you know he had kind of mentored me
okay,
throughout the time I was there, and
yeah,
made sure that I was that I was the wild card. It's the reason I asked him after the 3 years.
okay.
Why?
So
Why
you
did he hire
you
me?
wanted to basically live up to what this guy expected of you.
Yeah, because this guy, like I said, I made a very bad joke in my first like 2 weeks that should have got me fired.
Do you mind telling us what the joke is, or is it a bit like?
Uh,
It's fine. Look, as long as there's no like derogatory language, I don't really mind. I don't really care personally. As long as you're confident, go ahead, man. Just shoot. What was it?
are you sure?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it, man.
So I basically asked a girl, a Muslim girl.
Ugh. Oh God, what did you
Um,
ask? What did you?
I asked her about like why is there so many like suicide bombers,
Right, what did she say?
and she goes, I was like, why is there so many suicide bombers in your religion? And she goes, I don't know, man. I was like it seems like everyone in your religion is just a suicide bomber.
Right.
And she goes and she just loses her brain, and she goes to the guy who hired me and was like, "What the?" And she's like, "What the fuck? Why did he say this? He's racist." And I was like, "I'm not racist. I was just asking a question."
Well, okay, look. Okay, guys, being a Muslim myself, alhamdulillah,
Uh,
I guess, okay, I see where she might have gotten annoyed. If you asked that to me, right? Obviously, I do practice my religion. I hold it at a very high degree. I would just explain it to you civilly. The problem with I think a lot of people is not that it was a good way that you asked that question. By the way, I'm assuming
Especially
you
2
didn't
weeks
actually.
into a job.
Yeah, you didn't mean it. Did you mean it as a joke, or did you mean it like you were just genuinely fucking curious?
I was genuinely curious, but she took it as I was trying to joke around with her or something.
Like, I'm assuming you and this person never spoke again afterwards, did
No,
you?
we did.
Oh,
We actually
okay.
did.
Oh,
We
yeah.
we ended up becoming friends and everything at the and like he pulled us both aside and he was like, "Listen, Calum didn't mean this. He's not actually a bad guy. He was literally just sometimes Calum doesn't know when to shut his fucking mouth."
This is gonna get clipped up, by the way. You're gonna look very. No, guys. I'm telling you, I'm a Muslim. This guy's a lovely man. For the Muslim community, don't take this guy. Don't take this guy for somebody who has hatred towards Muslims. He's a bit like me. We have this thing where if we see it, we're just gonna ask. I'm assuming it was just some shit like you've seen someone and you're like, look, they're a part of the religion. Why not ask, right? It
100%.
it,
That's
it could have
that's
came out
totally
a
me.
lot better, but hey, I guess
Yeah.
I don't know. And that
But
should have got you fired. That's what you said, yeah.
it should have got me fired, and if that didn't get me fired, it was like my first 2 weeks on the phone.
Yeah.
I cursed at a customer.
How did the curse go? Like how replay the convo for us. How did
So the convo went, and it was like the customer goes, and then they call me up, and I was like, "Good afternoon, you're to the Talk sales team. My name is Calum. How can I help you here today?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm looking for broadband." And he's this really mean guy,
yeah.
and he goes to me and he goes, "Sorry, I have a hair in my mouth. Cats." But he goes to me. He's like, "I want broadband." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "What do you use your broadband for?" Like this, I'm going off this cheat sheet that we have. It's like the question sheet that
Yeah,
we
yeah,
used to
yeah,
have
yeah, yeah.
of like your prospecting questions. I was going off of that, and I was like, "Oh, what do you use your broadband for? How many people in the house is using a broadband?" And he goes, "Why does that matter?" And I was like, "Oh, just asking. It all depends on how many devices you have in the house." And he goes, "Oh, fucking shitloads." And I was like, "Oh, you fucking shitloads, do you?" And I was like,
I just swore. And like
I
what?
was like,
Okay? Did the managers for you listen in on your calls? They would do it to my
oh,
calls.
see, I was in my first 2 weeks, so they were listening to all of my calls,
Yeah.
and the guy who was training me, Chris,
Yep.
uh, he basically he stood up from his chair and goes, "Cut the fucking call." Cut it.
Oh wow.
I was like, I was like, what? I was like, what did I do? He's like, you just said shit on the call, man. I was like, did I?
I didn't even realize. Um, okay,
I,
tell me what happened sort of after that. Did you get kind of like a little talking to? Did you get a little bit of
I
like,
got talk. I got talked to by Chris. Chris was like, "Caleb, you can't be at that. You need to keep an eye on what you're saying."
yeah,
And from at that point on, I started keeping an eye on what I was saying.
okay, well, you clearly learned from it. Yeah.
I'm extremely dyslexic, so when the terms and conditions would come up on our page, and we had to read all of our terms and conditions,
Right.
I was looking at all of these, and they were all jumbling up, and I was like, I was reading these out to a customer one day,
Yeah.
and I'm reading them out, and Chris is listening to the call,
Yeah.
and he's like, he whispers into the headset, like customers can't hear when when the manager whispers in your headset, and he whispers and he goes, "Are you fucking dyslexic and you didn't tell me?" No, and I mute my mic and I'm like, "No, no, no, I'm not dyslexic." I'll mute my mic, and he was like, "You're fuck." He's like, "I know you're dyslexic," and then before we're finishing again,
Yeah.
like it was like 2 months before we were finished, and I come up to him and I was like, "Hey Chris, remember that time you asked me if I was dyslexic?" And he goes, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah, I lied to you. I'm actually fucking extremely dyslexic." He's like, "I fucking knew it."
Okay.
He's like, "Why didn't you tell me?" It's like, "I've heard people are getting fired for not telling people they're dyslexic before they start." And
Okay.
he goes,
Okay.
"Do you know what? Fair enough."
So you like okay, but you were clearly you were doing something right. How you held this job down for what 3 years?
3 years, yeah.
And okay, now in that time period, in that time period of 3 years, right? How many people did you see go from this job?
In my first year there, not many people left.
No,
Not
when I
many
say
people got
go,
fired.
I don't mean like necessarily only just left. I mean got that sacking.
In my first year there, only maybe 3 people got fired,
Now your
and
second
about
year,
6 left.
your second year,
Huh?
your second year.
My second year was a bit rough.
How many?
Uh, I saw maybe 15, 16 people get fired,
And
and
what in the
I
space of
saw,
1 year?
yeah, and I saw the guts of like 30 people get leave.
Whoa! So it's like what 45 people in just 1 year, kind of out the door.
Yeah, and then the third year, it shit hit the fan. It was like at the start of the third year, we knew we were fucked.
Okay, okay,
So we knew we were fucked because we kind of got a hint about it because it popped up on our PCs that one of the sites in the UK was getting shut down and they were going into redundancy.
okay.
And our boss pulled us aside and said, "Listen, that's not us. It's not going to be us. Don't worry. We are a powerful site. Doesn't matter." And
Okay.
then the flagship company that we were working for, Talk,
Yeah.
pulled all of their activity out of Ireland
Okay.
and moved it over to South Africa. So basically, we lost basically all of our, you know,
Now,
everybody.
okay, so you were mentioning that the company basically was going into redundancy. Me and you, like our friendship met in this company, yeah. Just for the viewers
Yeah.
here, be completely honest, okay? Because one thing about me is I love a bit of honesty. Yeah, I don't like people kind of sugarcoating on. The first interaction we had, what was your thoughts on? I'll tell you my thoughts on you, but you got to tell me your thoughts on me.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So, do you want me to go first?
Yeah. Fuck it. You go first. You go first. I'll tell you. What I thought then.
I thought you were a nerdy little fuck that didn't do nothing in work.
I mean, you weren't wrong. I mean, nerd. I do love I do love cartoons. I do love like reading. I do love video games. Hey, yeah. Did I
I thought you were
work?
a nerdy little fuck that didn't do fuck all in work.
I
And you
did. I
just
did, and I still stuck it out for 18 months. Well, 17, but yeah.
This little fucker, I tell you, I was doing more work than he was when I joined there.
Yeah, no, I don't actually disagree. My first thoughts on you was, first of all, look, don't take any offense to anything, because like I said, we're thick-skinned people, right? I thought, shit, I met comic book guy IRL. Like, you know, comic book guy from The Simpsons. I was about to like fucking do my whole impression of like, you know, it's like, that's amazing or some shit like that. You give like some little one punch kind of line. You ever watched The Simpsons? You'll kind of know what I mean. Anyone
I've seen the
yeah,
series.
yeah. Who hasn't seen this? But anyone who doesn't actually know what The Simpsons is, basically, it's just a guy they call Comic Book Guy, and he sells people comic books, and he reminded me of Caleb in a very funny way. Anyone who hasn't seen it, just look him up. Look up Comic Book Guy. You might get the reference. Okay, but that was my thoughts. Since so many people were leaving at the time and getting sacked, because I was there as well, I used to put time frames on people to get sacked, right? I used to be like, him, 2 weeks, him, maybe a year. Mine for you was 5 months. But I'm like, you actually beat it. You fucking beat it, man.
I beat the company. I outlasted the company.
But,
And
go on,
yeah,
go on.
I was gonna say, if you think I'm the comic book guy, if you wanna, everyone look at his glasses. I want you to take off your glasses and show them the thickness of the lens.
That's the thickness of the lens. I'm blind as fuck, boy. Look at that, look at that.
Brother, look at the thickness of those.
Yeah, man.
Jesus Christ, this man
They're
has
about
thick
as thick as
lens.
my brain. but oh man, but yeah, look. Since you lasted there 3 years, that was the longest in the company. Tell us about some of the people you started with. When I started, for example, there was about like 11 of us, right? I started as just a part timer, then moved it to full time. Tell us about your starting crew. Obviously, don't mention names just for their own kind of privacy. You don't want their whole shit to be leaked.
Yeah, of course.
But go on.
There was about 16 of us
Whoa,
when I started.
16.
Yeah, I feel like there was about 16 of us.
All right.
In the first, see, when I say in my first year, I only seen maybe 3 and maybe 6 leave.
Yeah.
I don't count the people who started with me and then they left.
Why?
Because some people I started with left within the first like 6 days.
I still count them. Go on. Well, I mean, they're still people.
Nah. They weren't even a foot in the company. They didn't even have a name badge to their name.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
So they weren't even counted. They were just on tour.
Towards the Lord. No, I'm like, but okay, look, like, there was people, yeah, that did, even in my intake, there was actually 2 that left. I still count them as people. Was there any particular characters? Obviously, there's myself and yourself, like, our bond kind of grew from there. Was there anybody in particular in your intake, rather, that, you kind of remained close with till this day? Or was it just kind of like, I come, you go,
Yeah.
I work with you? Yeah?
So there was a guy before my intake that I would have been very good friends with.
Yeah.
And I still am very good friends with. And then there's a guy that started with me
Yeah.
that I stayed really good friends with as well.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, I won't say full names or anything like
Yeah.
that, but there was like Chris,
Yeah.
there was Glenn, and
Glenn.
there was Jason.
Chris, Glenn, and Jason. Shout out all 3 of you guys,
yeah.
by the way.
The boys.
The boys.
That's who I would have got really close to, and that's who I even would be close to this day. Like, we've taken trips together to Galway. We've taken like, I've met Chris's family. I've met Glenn. No, I've met some of Glenn's family. And they've been here in my house. We used to do something called a burger night.
Burger
in my
night.
house.
What is that?
It was I like I said, I did culinary arts for like 3 years.
Yeah.
So I became very good at making these banging burgers.
Yeah.
They would have bacon, cheese, burger, lettuce. You'd have a mix between red sauce and mayonnaise, and you had tomatoes on it. And I used to be able to fucking put them together, and they would hold together without falling apart, even if you're eating it. It was a perfect burger. And me and Chris used to get together maybe once a month, and we try perfect the burger.
Wow.
like make it perfect.
Okay. And you said the perfect. You had me at burger. You lost me at bacon, a stock filled with and you lost me again at tomato. I do not like tomato. I don't like that shit. It
Listen, you
doesn't.
just don't like vegetables.
But I'm telling you, lettuce, broccoli, carrot. Okay, I get you can't put broccoli or carrots. Lettuce, cucumber, right? Amazing. How the fuck do you like tomato? How? How?
Put a
It
bit of
doesn't. It
salt on
doesn't
it.
belong
Put a bit of
anywhere.
salt on a tomato, and it's great.
It tastes like fucking shit. How do you? Okay. So, when it came to, you know, people, you said you were a wild card. That's what you referred to yourself as, right? The wild
Yes.
card. Was there any other wild people in that workplace that you kind of like pondered upon a little bit? Was there any kind of people where you're like, shit, man, this guy is like kind of a weirdo, or shit, man, this guy is like,
Well, no, that's not how he would have classed a wild card. Like I said, he would have classed a wild card as somebody who had like latent potential.
yeah, but I'm
And
talking about your personal wild card. Like for me, I'm not gonna name names, obviously, but there was a few in there that I was like, shit, man. Maybe he's cool at work, but kind of just keep your distance outside of work. Was there any like,
uh,
was there any kind of people like that for you where you'd be like, I don't mind seeing him at work, but I don't like him existing around me after that. Was that a thing?
there was, yeah, I'm not going to say
Don't say
name
names.
or
Don't say names.
anything.
You can just kind of like describe the situations, though.
Um, we started off as agents together, and um, the person didn't like me even speaking about them. You know,
How so? So
um,
give me
like
an example.
I had a conversation with somebody about, you know, a situation that happened in work
Yeah,
with me and this person,
yeah,
and basically this person didn't like it, and they pulled me aside after work, and they were like how fucking dare you, like
yeah.
you brought you, basically they pulled the like Will Smith on me. They're like
Your wife was
they're
there.
like
Or no, what's that thing that Chris Rock was like?
keep my name out of
Out
your
your mouth.
fucking
No,
mouth.
keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. That's what it was.
Yeah, but it was more like they were like, just keep my fucking name out your mouth. And I was just like, I literally had a conversation about you, about what happened with us, you know? And then there was a rumor spread around that I had a thing for this person, you know? And then they said that I spread rumors about them as well. And
Yeah.
it was just a whole fucking mess. And I was just like, yeah, if I seen them outside of work now, the likelihood of me coming up to them, I probably wouldn't come up to them.
Yeah. Was it
Yeah.
ever like? Did it ever get physical to the point where you wanted to like?
No,
No.
no, 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 no. I wouldn't get physical with the person. Like I've nothing against the person at all.
Yeah.
It's just we're as they would have put it, we're not friends. We were colleagues. We're not friends at all. And that's how it ended, and that's how I wanted it to stay. And if it ever comes down that we end up working together again, that's the exact same way
Yeah.
I want it to
Yeah.
be.
No, that's totally understandable. I do get that. That's like.
But they were a fantastic agent, and they were like ended up being a fantastic manager in the end.
Okay, that's cool. Listen, what we're going to do is now we're going to take a little quick intermission, right? Because I want to go, get a little glass of water. I just finished the drink that I had. We're going to talk a little bit about a few other things. We're going to talk about how the workplace ended. We're going to talk about health issues, and we're going to talk about what's kind of going, for the future of Callum Mullane, and we're gonna just kind of pretty much go on that. But before we kind of get into all that, I'd like to just have intermissions. So we go for a little quick, 5-minute intermission, etc., and we'll be back, and it'll just kind of cut to the next clip of where we started off. Is that okay?
Yeah, no worries.
Perfect. Okay, so we just took the intermission, and I had a fucking big ass glass of water. What did you do?
Had a big ass shit.
All right, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, so
Hey, honesty's key.
yeah, honesty is the best policy. I still have the glass of water, man, so I couldn't finish it all, but
I got the Diet Coke.
oh, Diet Coke, man, big ups, big ups. But what was I gonna say?
That's the Diet Coke.
We were basically we were basically talking about your workplace, the characters, but our workplace, we both work there. So basically, when it comes to, this job kind of coming to an end for both of us, I lasted about 17 months. I lasted throughout every single person in my intake bar one person. Um,
Yeah.
what did you kind of like gather from that workplace? Was it toxic? Was it enjoyable? Was it like throughout your, because you've been there for 3 years, you've been there double the length that I have, right? Um, what did you
For the
kind?
fir-
Huh?
for the first year and a half, yes, it was. It was quite enjoyable.
But then,
Um,
where did it all go wrong?
I it all went wrong. I'd say. See, there was a thing where like there was a couple of different campaigns. So you had your FTTC.
What is that for people who don't know what campaigns are? Explain a little bit.
The campaigns are different ways of selling stuff. So like different things that could sell. Like you had your FTTP, which is fiber to the premises.
Broadband, yeah, okay,
Um, yeah, and then you had your FTTC campaign, which is fiber to the cabinet. So people that were on the new acquisitions team could sell. It was literally just a set line for new acquisitions. People calling in looking for broadband.
okay,
That it was a more challenging line to be on
yeah,
because the customers were more. You needed more in depth with the customer. You need to be more in line with them.
yeah.
But FTTP was for the people who would just be there for their day to day life.
Okay, cool. So
Literally,
the new acquisitions. I was actually. I think I was on it for like a little bit. Just kind of briefly. Was that your main campaign? Was that the main one that you used to deal with?
that was a flagship campaign. Yes.
Okay. 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 Cool. Cool. Now, what did you find kind of like good and bad about this campaign? What did you think that was like?
So I enjoyed it solely for the fact of you had to fight to get onto this campaign.
Okay.
They had out of 60 agents that they had in there,
Yeah.
only 12 people were allowed on this campaign.
And you were amongst one of those 12.
I was amongst one of those 12 people at the in the very beginning. After about 7 months of being there,
Yeah.
I got onto that campaign and I fought for my spot for like 2 months. And then what they did is they ended up opening
Yeah.
that up to the whole floor. They expanded it to make more sales.
Okay.
We alone were making maybe 60 sales a day
Yeah.
on that campaign,
Yeah.
but they wanted to open it to the floor to try to get maybe 100, 120 sales a day.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So
But that's where it started going downhill because when they opened it to the floor, there was no drive anymore.
yeah.
There was no drive to try get sales because the whole floor was open to it. And that's where I started falling off. But
Yeah.
then they opened up an outbound campaign.
What's
Outbound
outbound for the
campaign.
viewers?
So outbound is when you are calling people up from a company,
Yeah.
from like a company that's never been heard of,
Okay.
and trying to sell a product.
As opposed to them
So
calling you, right?
yes,
Okay. And which did
so
you
there was
think
a
was more like plausible on kind of like on your end? What did you think was kind of more like acceptable in terms of like getting sales? Would it be them calling you because you just have to convince them, or
well,
would it be you calling them? Like, which did you find better?
them calling you, it's easier. It's way easier work. So it is. But you calling them, it's more of a challenge, and you get more enjoyment out of it. You get
Yeah.
so much more enjoyment out of uh, you calling them, and you're able to make a sale of it. Take for example, during my time on outbound sales,
Yeah.
I was calling people up, selling them gas, electricity,
Yeah.
SIM cards,
Yeah.
and broadband all in one package together.
Yeah.
And the customer was going, and it was like 100, and like their bills were going to be like €600.
Yeah.
Like we were telling them, we were quoting them, look, this is going to be €600 compared to what you're paying at the moment, which is 800.
Yeah.
It's in the long run, it's saving you more money, it's giving you a better package, and it's like these customers were telling us, listen, I took this call just to get you off the fucking phone. Get the fuck off my phone.
Right.
Stop ringing me.
Yeah.
And it's like, listen, we're just calling you to see if we could save you money. It's like it was fucking hard,
Yeah.
but it was worth it. But it got like my attendance in the place wasn't great,
When
and
you
it
said
got
not
to
great, like what did you mean? Would it be like you would miss a lot of days for random reasons, or would it just be you just
I
couldn't care
missed a
about
lot
showing
of
up?
days, and I was late a lot of the time.
Well, look, lateness happens, but what was the penalties? What was the penalizations for coming in late? Like, and by late, how late were we
So,
talking?
so I would only be like maybe 2 3 minutes late, but
Yeah,
it was
that's hardly
like
even late. And what would happen to you as a result?
I would be threatened to be put on like a PIP, like a performance enhancement program.
They put me on that.
Um, huh?
They put me on that. I was given a performance, whatever, an enhancement plan, whatever the fuck they call it, and it was just for like stupid shit. Like literally 5 seconds late, 2 seconds late. I'm like, this is a second. We're a minute late. I never understood it. What do you think the reasoning behind that whole strictness was? Like, why?
It's to try to keep you in line as an agent, but basically they told me, like before I went onto it,
Yeah.
they were like, okay, Caleb, you have one more day. If you miss one more day, I have to put you on a performance enhancement plan.
Okay.
So I basically set myself out that I was not going to miss a day.
All right.
Rain, hail, shine, snowing. If I was sick, if I was dying in my bed, I was going to come in.
Yeah.
So basically, in my like, it was like a year and a half in, it was like we had a really bad snow, and all the roads were iced. Even the footpath to my from work to my home,
Yeah.
really bad.
Yeah.
And I slipped on the way there.
Yeah.
I basically hit the bottom of my knee. I hit my knee
Yeah.
and basically badly bruised my knee, and my knee is fucked ever since.
Okay.
I still came into work, and then 2 weeks later, I got like a very bad chest infection that made me start coughing up blood. My nose started pissing blood
Ugh.
during work, and I
Damn.
was
Were you
on an
good?
outbound campaign with all of the stress
Yeah.
on me,
Yeah.
and I was just and I was like, I still can't miss a day. So for 6 months straight, I kept a clean record in there, and I got employee of the month for everything after all of that.
Employee of the month. There's a funny joke I used to say. I used to see there was a wall in there that we had full of employee of the month, right? All the employees, and over half of those employees were either fired or left. I was like, some employees.
Yeah, I got employee of the month in 2024, and it's like I fought for a year and a half to get this, and I was like, after I got it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna just keep my record up. I'm gonna keep fine, and then I missed a day, one day, in like August. It was just before my birthday, and I came back, and they were like, okay, since you missed a day, we're gonna have to put you on a performance enhancement plan. I was like, that's 6 months ago. I was
Yeah.
like, I haven't missed a day in 6 months. I came here with my nose pissing blood.
Right.
I came here like, and they're like, that doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah.
and I was like, you fucking serious? And I went into the boss, like the main boss's office, and me and him basically had a huge conversation about, you know, if I deserve to be on this performance enhancement plan. And he says, no, you don't. He's like, who fucking told you you're going to be put on that? And I was like, this person. And he was like, he pulled that person in. He's like, why the fuck are you putting him on that? He's like, he hasn't missed a day for 6 months. He hasn't been out. He hasn't been sick. He hasn't been late. You need to fucking take him off that. And they're like, okay, no worries. And they're like, apologize to him now.
In
And I was
terms,
like,
okay. In terms of, let's say, office gossip, because that's what it was. We worked in an office essentially. In terms of like office gossip or people kind of like kissing ass, as you want to say, to the higher ups, the managers. Do you think that was a thing in our workplace? Yes or no?
It's a tough question to answer
You know,
because
if it's a yes, you don't have to name names, but do you think there was a? Because I'll be honest with you, yeah, I'm just gonna say it as it is. I think there was. I think the people were trying to impress. I'm not gonna like obviously name who and name why, but I do. I really believe that there was people that was trying to impress the managers, and I guess if I'm being completely honest, right, they kind of sell themselves by doing it. They put other people down to make themselves look good, and I don't
yeah,
know,
yeah,
man.
no, there was that.
Yeah, yeah,
100% there
yeah,
was.
yeah. But did
Uh,
you ever feel that it was going a bit too much, or did you kind of see it a bit too much and be like, shit, man, what the fuck is he doing?
no, no. Like I seen it, but like I wouldn't say it. But at the very end, you know, it was rough.
Yeah.
There was no kissing ass or anything like that.
D-
The very end of it all.
But like, at any point did you notice that there was? Because like I said, I did, man. Like, I mean, maybe your experience is a bit different considering we were on separate campaigns, and I suppose we did have separate managers. I'll give you that, but it's just like.
Who was your manager?
I was there with a few different managers. Look, we're just naming their names. I'm not gonna name their full names, but I'll give you what they were called. My manager was a guy named Mark. I also had a different manager named Mez. Right. That's what they were called. What about you? Who are your managers?
Oh, I went through nearly all of the managers. Like I went through Mano, I went through Ryan, I went through uh, I went through at one point Steve was my manager.
Wow. Okay.
Like
Okay.
Steve, the boss.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Demi was like I went through everybody.
Okay.
Mez and Yarrick.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Okay. Sick. Sick. How did it come to an end? How did the place that we met up in, and basically get to know each other? How did the journey come to an end?
So basically, after we found out that the redundancy was happening,
Yeah.
there was 12 of us picked.
Okay.
It was kind of like new acquisitions all over again.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, we were picking 12 of you guys,
Yeah.
the agents.
Yeah.
We're going to try kick a campaign started.
Yeah.
The campaign was plan.com.
What was it called?
Plan. It was selling to businesses,
Yeah.
SIM cards to businesses.
SIM cards to business. Alright, okay, okay.
Yeah, it was rough. And we were starting that, and none of us could get sales for weeks. I mean, weeks on end.
So there's like
None
what,
of
no
us could
commission
get
at this
sales.
point, basically for anyone.
This is the point where like nobody got nothing.
Okay. Cool.
Like
Yeah.
we were basically just fighting for our jobs.
Yeah.
And then like we got told about we were gonna get redundancy money.
Yeah.
Because when you're so long in a job, like when you're
Yeah.
three,
They,
four
they, they, they
years
have
in a
to give
job.
you they have to give you like a severance pack, or is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So basically, we were being told like we're gonna get severances and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
I basically was told I was gonna get 4 grand because I was
Whoa.
there
Fat ass paycheck.
that wasn't even the last paycheck.
Huh.
I got 6 grand altogether within a last paycheck and my redundancy.
You would probably, well, okay, obviously you just lost your job, which is a bit of a, but at the same time you were probably doing like backflips. You were like, shit, 6 grand in the bag.
It was, but I was also very upset because I loved the job. I
Really?
adored it.
Really?
Yeah.
I've done a few jobs here and there. I cannot, and I repeat, I cannot fucking say the same. Look, I'll say this. I enjoyed it for like 6 months because it was something a bit new to me, but I'm gonna be real, man. After whatever, the 6th month, I was like, bro, I don't want to do this forever, man.
Like I enjoyed it because like I love talking to customers.
Of course, no, of course, no. I get there's a
I
nice.
built relationships with these customers.
No, I get it, obviously. But Was there ever a point where you were just a bit sick of it, man? No.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. There was days I would come in and I would, a call would end with a customer, and I'd throw the headset in front of me and I'd be like, "Fuck this fucking shit! I'm fucking done." And I'd scream at the top. I'd walk out. I'd literally walk out of the office and leave my badge sitting at the door, and like Steve or someone would come get me.
Whoa. Okay. For those of you who don't know, Steve's like the big boss who basically was in charge of the whole like fucking company. Anyway, yeah. Okay. Well, it came to an end. Everyone got their severance pack. And basically you got a fat whopping 6 grand, like you said. Um, you a while ago, earlier on, mentioned that you were going through some ups and downs with your health issues, right? Now, obviously, you even mentioned in school that you were a bit of a bigger lad. You were on the bigger side of things, okay? Um, when you were going through, problems with your health, being eating wise, comfort eating, what do you think kind of led all that on? How did that all happen?
It was like led by like, when I was a kid, I didn't know when to stop eating, stuff like that.
Okay.
And it was kind of like I just had a love for food.
I do
When
love
I
my food
started,
too, man. Like, what types of food did you love? Was it like anything in particular, like burgers,
uh,
pizza,
I,
curry?
I would eat anything, literally just anything
Yeah,
that I could get my hands on at the time.
yeah,
Um, but it got to a point where like I was like, okay, I'm fucking sick of eating, so I
yeah,
started not eating,
yeah.
and I put my body basically into like starvation mode.
Okay.
If you don't know what starvation mode is, it's like your body doesn't know when the next meal is, so it just starts storing everything as fat.
Yeah.
And so I just started gaining more and more and more weight
Okay.
from that.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening was after I came out of starvation mode, my body basically didn't know what to do, and I just kept putting on the weight, and I got very, very heavy. Even to this day, I'm still very heavy, even though I've lost weight.
Yeah.
You know,
So, do you think it was?
um,
Do you think it could have been also because of metabolism? For example, look, I have a mate who would eat like I don't know how much calories he would eat a day, like about 2,000 What I know, 2,000 euro, probably more like 4,000 calories, but he doesn't get fat. I don't understand it. Like, how the fuck is
yeah. Well,
that?
like
You know?
I have quite a fast metabolism,
Yeah.
so I do.
Okay.
But like I said, as you were saying, like I was saying before, I have a couple of health issues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, that I'm now on medication and stuff to try help with.
Yeah.
But like I consistently last year
Yeah.
went to the gym for 6 months straight.
Sheesh, good shit, brother. Did you lose
Yeah,
much weight when you doing
and
it?
I like I don't mind saying what weight I was.
What
I
what what
was
what
up
weight were
above
you? Okay, what? I'll ask you two questions. I'll say, what weight is your current weight now,
My current weight now is 29 stone.
and how much
In
is that?
kg,
How much is that in kg?
that's 190.
190 kilograms.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you
Before
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 you,
though, I was up above 32, 33 stone.
so how much is
It was
so
like
how much were you?
210 kg.
You were 210 kg.
Yeah, I've lost over 20
Mad,
kg
mad.
um last year.
Still, big respect that you're still trying to go into the gym and get the shit done. Do you feel that? Okay. Do you feel that basically at times it was it was controllable, that it didn't have to be to this point, like, 'cause, like you mentioned there that you were a comfort eater. We've all been through phases where we were comfort eaters. Did you ever feel that, like, shit,
No,
man?
I don't think it was controllable. I think it, up like if I'd gone to see a doctor sooner, yes.
Yeah.
Uh, but like my mental health and stuff, I was in no place to go see a doctor. And I think the only reason why I
Yeah.
went to see a doctor, and the reason I got a diagnosis on what I have and stuff,
Yeah.
is because I got a problem that I couldn't fix on my own,
Okay. You got a problem
and
that you couldn't fix. Okay. Okay.
I had to go to a doctor.
What was the doctor's advice? What did they say?
The doctor's advice was to go get blood work done,
Yeah,
go up to the hospital and get them to test me and see what it was and
yeah.
everything. I got tested there and then, and an hour later, they came back and told me what it was, and told me this is what I have to start and this is what I have to do to ensure that what happened doesn't happen again.
Okay, and when it comes to that stuff, was it exercise related? Was it more to do with like medication? Was it more to do with
It was more to do with medication.
okay, cool. And do you think that, look, obviously you see mad transformation videos all the time, right? You see, like, if you go on like TikTok or YouTube, there's people, believe it or not, look, there's people that are way bigger than you that have gone through like way more of a trans in terms of like losing weight. As in, like, it clearly is possible. I'm still a big believer that any big man can lose a little bit of weight. Yeah. Do you think that if you kind of like listen to all the advice given to you, like be it from the doctor, be it from like anyone who knows anything about nutrition or whatever the fuck, do you think that it can have an impact? Like you can basically be down to about like, let's say if you could basically lose about 40 odd kilo in the next like 2 years. Do you reckon it's possible?
Well, keep in mind, like I said, last year alone, I lost over 20 kilos.
Yeah, exactly. So
So,
if you
and I was only 6 months doing the gym, and at that point, I had no medication or anything to help with it.
okay,
Now that I have medication, if I go to the gym, I'm probably gonna lose weight like that. Like it's,
so
you know,
you think it's definitely achievable?
100%. Like
Okay,
it's very
okay,
easy. It'll become very easy.
yeah. Um, do you think that like okay? Do you basically think that diet has more of an impact or exercise? I hear a lot of mixed stuff about this. People say you can out train a bad diet. It's very few people that say that, but I have heard it. And then other people say no, your diet is everything.
Diet. I'd say diet. I think it's a mix between both.
Okay, it's like what 50-50
To be
split.
honest,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd say it's like 60% diet, 40% exercise.
Okay. 60 per yeah 64 yeah, that's fair, that's fair. um any people that are going through health problems similar to yours, let's say, who maybe aren't at the weight you are at now but are kind of like getting towards that level, right? What advice would you give them? What would you let them know?
Don't be afraid to go see a doctor. If you have any health concern at all, and even if you're a little bit overweight or anything like that,
Yeah,
get yourself checked, get bloods done, get something like that done. Don't wait until it's last minute like I did.
yeah,
Waiting last minute could
yeah,
mean the risk of your life.
yeah. Waiting last minute could be the risk of your life. Was there at any point, thoughts circling in your head that my life is in fucking danger? I need to stop eating. I need to stop consuming. Or was it just I'll leave until the next day? The doctor, or like was it? Did it ever kind of like concern you badly?
Yeah, yeah. There was times when I was really concerned, like, but like I said, my weight wasn't brought on by me overeating all the time.
Uh huh.
Like I said, it was brought on by my body going into starvation mode and not knowing when its next meal was going to be.
Uh,
So everything I was eating was just literally going into fat. It wasn't being burned. It wasn't being doing nothing with it.
okay. Okay.
So I could have like 1,000 calories in a day,
Yeah.
but my body was literally just putting that
Yeah.
into fat, storing that as fat. So that's where I was gaining more and more and more weight.
Okay. Okay. No, that's totally understandable. It's not really kind of what you were eating, but it's at the times you were eating. It's you were. Would you say it was intermittent fasting? Was it? Would you call it that, or was it like?
I'd say it's kind of like intermittent fasting, but I would not. I would eat one day and then I
Yeah.
wouldn't eat the next day at all.
See, because
So I
we
wasn't breaking a fast.
because we have this thing in our religion called Ramadan. We fast basically once a month, but we can eat, let's say, at like 6 p.m. pretty much when the sun sets. Right, from sunrise to
Mm.
sunset, you can't eat, but then afterwards you can eat and drink, and you can't eat and drink before that. Would you say it was something along the lines of Ramadan, or was the meals that you were having like just at random fucking time, just like, right, cool, starve for like 10 hours, have a meal the next whatever on the 11th? Was it like that? Like how did it kind of like go for you?
There was some days where I wouldn't eat for 2 days,
What?
and then I would eat like I would eat maybe 2,300, 3,000 calories, and then I wouldn't eat then for another 2 days or something, or 3 days.
So you would go 2 days without food and water.
But water, I would be drinking water, of course,
Okay.
but not. I
Okay.
wasn't eating like food.
Okay. Okay. Well, look, brother, that's I am really sorry you've gone through all that. Hopefully, with the medication, with everything that's kind of going on, the people around you, the support. Like I'm always here for you. I know with anybody, anybody else that's around you. Hopefully, you can kind of come out of the weight you're at and hopefully decrease that to a much healthier weight. I think it's definitely possible.
100%, it's possible,
Yeah.
and I can see myself doing it in the next two years.
I was going to make the point that look, well, if you if you were at a job like the place where we at and you stayed there, perhaps it wouldn't be so good because number one, sitting at a desk all day gives you fucking back problems. I'd argue that, and number two, it's like your mobility is limited with those mics and those like computers and desks are always near you. You're
Yeah, it would be, but it's still
yeah.
even the walk to that place
Yeah.
or walked back from that place would have been out. It would have done me the world of good.
I understand it. I understand it, but it's just like obviously, look, getting to the job is one thing, but being completely immobile on the job, like that's one thing I actually did not like about that personally.
See, this is where I'm saying as well. Like for me, I can't even do any of physical working jobs anymore.
Because
I've got a problem. Like I said, I left these problems for way too long,
yeah,
and it's kind of caused me a problem where physical jobs like that, standing on my feet all day, I can't really do that anymore.
because of the fact that you ignored the weight issue for this long.
Well, it wasn't just a weight issue. It's like there was an issue with my ankle.
Okay.
It's my your ankle should be able to do nearly a full like rotation.
Yeah.
My ankle doesn't do that. My ankle just literally goes down or up. It doesn't go side side
So
or
the
any
mobility is very
moves like
limited.
that. Yes.
Okay.
And my doctor has completely said, look, Callum, it's not your weight. This is an underlying something that you should have got sorted when you were a kid.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Okay. Okay. Well, look. Like hopefully, with everything, the resources available, it does you the world of good. Do you ever get scared of the side effects of the medication? Because a lot of these type of drugs that they give you, when I say drugs, I just mean like whatever, be it injection format, be it in a pill format, that it has side effects. Do you think that the side effects might get you one day, or do you think it's relatively safe?
I think the ones that they're giving me at the moment, they're all relatively safe.
Okay,
Like the ones they're giving me at the moment is like they've given me vitamin ones.
yeah,
And they've also given me like one for my thyroid.
yeah,
I don't know if you know what thyroid is.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thyroid
I've
is
heard
like
of it.
it's
Explain
a
it to me
thing in
though.
your throat.
Yeah,
It causes weight gain, it causes mood swings, causes everything like that.
yeah.
But they've given me medication for that as well, and
Okay,
they're literally just to benefit me. There's no real side effects to them. All that I'm gonna see is a benefit from them.
okay. Do you worry that like when it comes to dosage, that like you maybe taking a bit too much or a bit too little might have an impact?
No,
Okay,
no, because like I see a doctor every 3 to 6 months
yeah,
for regulations on those to make sure that I'm not taking too much or too little.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that's absolutely understandable. That's absolutely a-okay. I'm glad that at least you got the support around you. You got such doctors to go. We're lucky. I believe Ireland, right, actually has a very very good health system in terms of like looking after and dealing with patients once they're attended to. Does that make
Hmm.
sense? Well, leading on to my last point, then basically, what the fuck is in the future for Callum Mullane? Like, what's happening? You know?
Okay, like I see myself going back into a call center or something like that.
Yeah,
I see myself going back into somewhere like there, somewhere that's going to be I can speak on a customer basis, but
yeah,
not have to be on my feet all the time.
yeah, yeah,
Because that's what I enjoyed. I plan to get my gaming channel up and running properly.
Yeah.
Doing live streams almost every day,
Yeah.
doing gaming videos, stuff like that,
Yeah.
and hopefully moving on to, like I said, doing movie reviews when the new movies come out, like Dune or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Come out, do a full on review of it, and give people my honest opinions. I feel like I have a good judge of character on those types of things.
Okay. Okay. So movie reviews, your gaming channel. Um, you want to go back into a call center again?
Yeah.
Wow. You know what? Most people that I know that have worked at a call center, every one of them has told me, "Shit, man, I don't think I could ever do that ever again." You're like the 1 in 100, man. I mean, like, hey, I guess everyone likes what they like and everyone dislikes what they don't like, and that's fair enough. But honestly, that's a very interesting and unique take that I've got. I want to go back into me personally. I don't believe I'd ever want to do something like call center related, at least long term. Like, would you mind doing it for the Would you mind doing it for the rest of your life?
I don't know if I'd do it for the rest of my life. I maybe do it for another 2 3 years, and hopefully by then I'll have a YouTube channel kicked off.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
And
and then
would it ever like to be the case where you make full time money out with YouTube?
yeah, that's the go to plan.
Okay. Okay.
That's the go to plan. Listen, after maybe 5 6 years of YouTube, I'm gonna retire from it, and I'm gonna have so much money saved away
Yeah.
that I don't have to worry about money for a long time.
Okay. Um.
Because think about it like this. Nowadays people, you could live on 30,000 a year,
Yeah.
and if I had a house bought and I had a car bought and I had insurance and everything sorted, and what if I made what a, a good mill off YouTube?
Yeah.
A mill would do me for life.
Yeah. Um.
You know.
No, I get it. It's an amazing plan. I wish you nothing but the best. I wish you nothing but success. When it comes to me, I don't know. Would I ever want to do a full time job? Probably. It's just because of the fact that like I like doing stuff on the internet so much that it's like I don't know if I ever would want to just go full time with it. I do sometimes think I would love to just make what I love into my job. But the only problem with that is that once you make your hobby into your job, you begin to hate your hobby. And I don't want
It's understandable.
yeah, I don't want like something that I love to do turn into something that I hate to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that's understandable. Like I get that. Like I know sometimes I don't want to play video games, and that causes me not to want to stream or anything like that. But in the other case, you know, there's always new games coming out. There's always new stuff that's gonna keep you on the internet.
Yeah.
So that's where I want to be.
I don't get me wrong. Like I I I want to be there just as much as the next guy. Like I want to always. But my point is, like, would I want to do it for a job? When I want to just say, look, I want all my money, all the revenue that I'm generating coming from YouTube, TikTok. Would that be what I want? I don't know. You know,
Why not though?
because I feel like I have to not be myself in a way. Look, I try to be very authentic on these platforms, right? I try to be very, very authentic to the point where I'm like, I just want to bring guests on a podcast. I just want to shout in front of the camera and be goofy and be dumb. And I'm like, if I'm doing that for a job, would I at some point lose my monetization if I get there? Would I at some point lose viewers because of the fact that, well, I am myself? I feel like in a job, you have to be just a little bit of a different character, you know?
Well, think about it like this: when you were in the call center, you had to limit what you were saying
Yeah,
on the phones.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but you still could be yourself up until a certain amount. Yeah.
To an extent, yeah,
Yeah, you could be laughing and joking with the customer,
yeah,
having a laugh, and that's the exact same as YouTube.
Yeah,
The
you're not wrong.
relationship you have with a customer is the same as the relationship you would have on YouTube. The audience has to feel included.
Yeah,
A customer has to feel included in the sale that you're giving to them.
yeah,
Like my highest ever sale on Talk Talk was over 170 euro pound.
yeah,
I sold them the fastest package I had,
yeah,
every landline uh, thing that they could get,
yeah,
every TV bundle that they could get, all at full prices.
yeah,
And just because I was doing them that better deal than the provider that they were with, they were happy to go with it. And because I built a great relationship with them beforehand.
yeah. I mean,
And that's what you want to bring into.
the world of social media.
Exactly. You want to sell yourself.
Yeah,
You don't want to sell a fake person that you're going to be.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I do. You want to sell yourself? It sounds so demonic in a way. No, 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 no. I do truly love this. But the thing, what differs between me and a lot of these people is, I feel like a lot of people don't stay true to it on social media. They don't like that they're putting. Okay, look, to a degree, you do have to put on a persona. You can't say certain words on here, or else you're going to lose your platforms. And I get that. I get that. Okay, but the thing with me is that, like, when it comes to, me being myself, maybe balancing out, when I have to keep decorum, and balancing out when I can just be myself might be a bit of a problem. Whereas, because if I'm doing it as just for a little bit, the fun of the game, it's like, well, it doesn't really matter because I'm not making my money off it anyway. Do you know what I mean?
But think about it from where you started.
Yes.
You started with 2, 3 likes on
Yeah.
every post that you're getting.
Yeah.
I've looked at your posts from before and now.
Yeah.
You've exponentially grown
Yeah.
compared to before.
Yeah.
Just because you're consistent and you've
Yeah.
gained a popularity because of you interacting with the community.
Yeah. Of course. Of course.
You're getting out there, you're
Yeah.
interacting
Yeah.
with them,
Yeah.
and that's what people like to see.
Of course. But it's
And
just.
that's where when you bring that other places, let's say in the world, or
Yeah.
you go to London or you go to New
Italy.
York or
Yeah. Spain. Wherever.
somewhere
Yeah.
like that, that's when your fan base grows because people are like, oh shit, he's in New York. Let's watch him. So hopefully someday he'll come to and see us, and we could probably meet him or some shit.
Of course. Of course.
It's
Of
all
course.
about it's all about gaining that popularity.
Yeah. I agree. I cold-heartedly agree. Well, look, I'll say time will tell. Time will. The thing is, nobody really knows the future. No, I don't. You don't. I only believe in really that God does, and well, that's just what it is. But you never know, man. You never know. But look, we went through a lot of topics. We talked about a lot of different, amazing, interesting things. Callum, thank you so much for coming on the show, brother. I hope you enjoyed
Thanks
it.
for
Did
having
you?
me on the show.
Yeah, it's been episode 1 of the Uzzi Cast with Callum, the wild card. Mullane, that's your new nickname, man, the wild card. And look, stay tuned, guys. We're going to have a lot more amazing guests on. I'm going to leave all of this man's socials down below in the description. And yeah, man, you can also follow me on TikTok, UzziBoy123. Follow me on Instagram, UzziBoy2003. The YouTube channel, the Uzzi Cast. And yeah, man, this has been a great, great, great show. So,
Thanks.
anything you want to say to the viewers before we leave?
I'll pop all my stuff over to Uzi Boy here.
Yeah.
He's gonna pop all my stuff in the description or something, and he can give me a follow on either my
Yeah.
YouTube or my personal socials. If you want to reach out to me and give me some ideas for videos and stuff after you have a look at my YouTube,
Yeah.
I'll be happy to take on any kind of shit that you want to throw at me.
Callum, virtual fist bump, brother. It's been a pleasure. Alright.